Hi. Hi. Let's see. Wait, apparently there's a problem with a stream. What is this? The concept of back to the next conversation. Keeping about the vision not. Okay. So we're gonna do like cut the segment. I guess. So I really have to like adjust everything here. Like come on, bruh. Copywriter. Let's see. I'm gonna see and do it later on probably. So So the trade that was interesting. It ended up getting hit. TP ended up getting hit on it, but on the lower risk one that we had, apparently. So what ended up happening is we ended up hitting RTP. That's pretty much it for the 0.5 trade. In total, we ended up being at around break even for the day. Let's see, account history. We ended up being around break even for the day. What is this? Okay, a bit like -0.2 or something for the day, so that's fine. Yeah, we did. If the trades weren't reversed, and this would have been the 1%, it would have been a way different outcome compared to break even for the day. But yeah, let's start reflecting. So today we're gonna do journals backtesting, and I want to try this. I kind of did this, so let's see. I will keep it like that. So we're gonna use this as oops, but yeah, that's fine. I think this is okay. So let's do this and this, like this, and try this method that I used. So let's also delete this. Okay, so let's see higher time frame. What did we have? The trade ended up playing out, but we ended up massively reversing. I don't know why exactly. I mean, we did have a really strong low here that got taken, so makes sense. But with our trade idea ended up being correct. We just had a deeper pullback. So 4 hour to 4 hour like pretty clear here. 4 hour to 4 hour pretty clear. 4 hour gap big, but we got refinement to the 1 hour. So let's see hourly. Hourly, we had basically the same setup as the day before. Hourly, we basically had the same setup as the day before, just a simple continuation basically. Nothing complicated at all. We definitely did have a Ray Deja with a 50-minute get inverse, so yeah. But this is kind of behavioral news, so news might not be the greatest idea to be trading. I didn't expect PPI to be this kind of this aggressive or weird. I don't know. Let me see something. So we had PPI and like price ended up running like at 5. Okay, that was weird. Like on news we didn't do much, but the whole volatility kind of got pumped at like a silver bullet, almost like near lunchtime actually. So it was kind of weird how we behaved here on news, but this is similar behavior to one of the trades that I had recently, I'm pretty sure. So let's see. I'm gonna use the news one, so probably this one with not this one. Maybe this, I feel like. I know we had a very choppy trade and I want to kind of search and see on news, but I don't exactly remember. This one, yeah. What news did we have? FOMC, okay. But it's very similar behavior to what we had today, at least in this part of the range. So that's kind of, I'm probably gonna save this, make a screenshot, save this. And we did, it's kind of the same context. We did have like a London continuation, or no, what am I saying, like continuation pattern, just that simple. So where's the trade that we have? This one? Really not. Why is it getting put down here though? Whatever. So let's name this, what was it, GPUZ hard time frame. I don't want to put this here as a like as a reference point, but I feel like this is very news behavior, very similar actually behavior to here. We just kind of switch trend after, but that's not really that important, I would say. It's very similar behavior, especially on this, and this is exactly this is definitely CPI open, and this here is, well, I don't know why Notion's not working, but why are you not working, bruh? Come on, man, you bug me. But yeah, it's very similar behavior here to what we got, except in our case we end up holding lower, in this case we end up manipulating before going lower, so it's a bit lucky. I don't think you want to be taking part necessarily in days like this. That's the thing. It's good to kind of know, but like, I don't know, I want to ask ChatGPT something about news, because like in days where we don't have CPI volatility, which in this case we didn't have a lot of, like, I don't know, manipulation, I would say, in CPI, PPI had actually way more. Like sometimes that's the thing, it can be as volatile as the major CPI event, so maybe it should be worth skipping or at least trading after. So I kind of want to ask ChatGPT this. Let me see if I can find, I want to ask him if PPI should be avoided, to be honest. Should PPI be avoided? Like I saw a really interesting thing. So when CPI doesn't have that much volatility or doesn't manipulate as much as it usually does, the next day on PPI is where we usually get the rest of the volatility. That's what I've seen today, and I'm not sure whether I should be skipping PPI day or at least keep London in PPI day. I'm not sure. I don't know if he, what did I say? Gengi. Like a normal, so if CPI had high volatility, then PPI behaves like a normal data release. So okay, this is actually pretty interesting what GBT said. So we're gonna definitely be clipping this shit right now, Gengi. Like right now, we clipping this shit. So yeah, 'cause I feel like, say if CPI was flat or manipulation free, then PPI becomes dangerous. You might see pre-London manipulation. So Asia sets up a trap, London pumps towards liquidity, completely reverses it. This kind of makes sense. So Asia sets up a trap. Let's see. I wouldn't really say set up a trap necessarily, but London pumps towards liquidity. This kind of exactly what it did. It didn't really massively pump, but this clearly we were in the move before the massive displacement. I feel like this is where volatility actually kicked in. From the news event, this is where it pumped up, so we were clearly in the Judas swing in the final move lower before reversing. So that's really interesting to see today. So we had first part of PPI. Yeah. So I'm curious if I can share this with GBT. So I want to see if I can. I don't know if I have any more. It doesn't let me. I noticed a similar behavior on news. On previous time it was on FOMC. It's like these deep manipulations to struggle to break lower, break forcefully, like London pumps, where we get a retracement field behavior towards liquidity, and then we completely reverse. In this case, we had a weekly low which we went toward, then completely reversed. My trade idea was towards the liquidity hunt. Yes, it's like a slow move lower, just building liquidity, and then we get like these massive manipulation towards news. Here we also build, and then we only wick. It's, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Do you think I should keep trading PPI? I feel like PPI is a fine news to be trading around, even in London. But in cases like this, it ended up working. So I'm not sure. PPI, I think sometimes it's fine to be trading, but I don't know. CPI definitely not. Maybe in the future, but. So at the end of the day, is PPI worth skipping or is it not? Like the trade today ended up working, but I don't know. Like the way I manage it is I can trade London, because even in this case I traded in London. I entered in London, and then I don't know. And then when we're closing towards we're opening PPI, I would probably like cut risk seriously and probably leave like a 0.305% run. I don't know about this though, but we're gonna see. Often secondary reactionary depending on CPI context. Okay, so PPI depends a lot on how CPI is tradable during London, especially before New York open. When CPI was flat the day before, yes, it comes with core readings or surprise prints. Jobless claims, okay, isn't it unemployment claims? But yeah, we're gonna see. So Raid Asia with a 50-minute inverse acting as our key trigger lower. A lot of resistance on the lows, I would say. So this really helped get better at trading higher resistance scenarios and also PPI. Very similar profile here, we just manipulated. This was FOMC, so kind of expectable, but similar. So boom, if PPI was fair manipulation free. So overall, PPI depends a lot, kind of varies depending on CPI's behavior. It's like a dependable. If CPI is flat and less noisy than usual, PPI will probably carry on. That's kind of what we saw today. But today it was interesting. We did have a good POI, so I think for PPI it's worth it. Got a bit close. I would say got a bit close because of CPI being so cleanly like. Also, I want to ask GBT one more question. So do you think, like yesterday actually there was a really clean CPI, so you think you should monitor it, you should monitor news, and depending on how clean we print and how clean the open is, you maybe take a trade. Like for example, like yesterday CPI on GBP USD moved way cleaner and was a way cleaner opportunity than today on PPI. So do you think you can actually kind of predict when CPI is gonna be less manipulation, less noisy, like it's gonna be a bit more calm and cleaner price action without massive manipulations? What makes CPI clean versus manipulated? CPI clean direction and continuity. The move has hard from alignment, imbalance or messy build up pre-release. Liquidity has already been taken. Cleanse the table release is not a major surprise. So CPI manipulated. The market is collected title with no clear hard time frame draw. How to predict? But yes, you can prepare with better expectation. Hard time price, imbalance. If market expectation is in line with data, no surprise, less volatility, more clarity. So can I actually track this to be able to predict that CPI is gonna be a bit more cleaner? Because I feel like this day, like yesterday, CPI was really clean, bro. Like CPI moved really nicely here. It moved like a Nasdaq on like a usual delivery on Nasdaq, and PPI today moved way uglier, I would say. I mean, not necessarily, it's kind of similar, but CPI did move clean. What we care about is being able to trade CPI. So are we able to sometimes tell that we're gonna have this good of an opportunity in CPI? That's kind of what I'm asking GBT, and he said you kind of can, but you need to check the news. So he said, where is it? If market expectation is in line with data, no surprise, less volatility and more clarity. If there is disagreement or surprise risk, expect whipsaw or multi-leg reaction. So it's kind of if like the data that gets out on CPI is to the market expectation. If there is a big difference, we're gonna have a bit of a more manipulative CPI. But this is really clean price action, to be honest, for CPI. It's more cleaner than PPI, which we had today. But we did print and we did like massive fucking 120 pips for PPI, which is not something I would usually expect, but apparently PPI is very dependent on CPI. If CPI doesn't print that heavy, PPI will print. So apparently that's how it works. But let's go over the entry here. Boom. So it's kind of even hard to see right now, but we have a lot of zones, so I might actually be going on another chart because it's just too much. Let me see. Okay, this is fine. So boom, Just gonna know the essentials. Boom. Context, I did like context. It's just that we had a weird news behavior. So the entry was basically based on this fractal high was really strong. I really liked how this guy looked. We had like king high here, and then we had this like this gap getting respected here. So this was kind of showing me in 10, and this is really interesting here because we got rejected here. I entered on the 1 minute, should have entered right after, then should have entered right after. I think on this move, like really 1 minute small move here, just as a more confluence that we're holding the entry, and from there we should have just been chilling, big chilling. So we'll see. But yeah, the entry was based around this 5-minute AVG, and now 5 minute 50 minute, that it was kind of overlapping, so it was really pivotal. That's why I liked it. But it's a nice pattern here. Entry, let's go, let's duplicate this, and this will be for the scaling entry. We're gonna do it oh, I do have, okay, never mind, I do have like a part here for the scaling apparently. So let's see. Let's see, really clean behavior here. We had fractal high inside of a 1 hour. Then we had a really pivotal 50-minute AVG that I look to trade around. Lower time frame, like 3-minute entry got rejected. Used 1 minute to validate if it's still valid or not. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's still kind of worth taking. So we did reject here. Then I looked on the 1 minute, and on the 1 minute I did like that we have a gap here, and that we did close below, and I ended up entering here as the first. Boom, like this. I think I had the stop loss above here just to be safe, but it is a fractal high, but could have maybe went smaller, I'm not sure. And yeah, I was just looking to target the higher time frame. We had previous daily low, we had this low, and we had the higher time frame low. Where is it? That this ended up being final target, this higher time frame range low here. And yeah, this was the entry on the 1 minute actually. Then I just like, I don't even know how I executed. I just like how the 1 minute looked. Boom. Just liked how the 1 minute looked here. So boom, intraday. I don't need hard time frame right now. So, and then entered, good idea. So I'm gonna go then with optimal way of doing this. So we're gonna see. Then when did I scale in? I think I scaled in after we tap break even orders, and I scaled in on this right here. I mean, in the moment, I think I didn't realize we have buy side here. Yeah, this was pretty much just the scaling itself was a bit overextended, I would say, but it's not that bad actually. This is not a bad scaling. It's just that sometimes they happen that it gets stopped out, especially with news behavior. This is actually a good scaling. So the scaling was fine. It was just the risk was not fine on it. But yeah, the scaling was really fine because we did, like, we had really strong confluence. Now I remember on the scaling we did come into break even. Here's break even. Come in break even, we formed this fractal high here really nicely. We build a strong high, we inverse, we market structure shift, and we print a gap. So to be honest, the scaling was extremely good. Actually, I do remember now, and I wasn't wrong for being confident in the scaling. It's a really good scaling, but it just ended up failing off this, which makes sense later on. We could have maybe cut the scaling before it gets stopped out. Indeed, if we would have, we see kind of 3 minute here, we see we failed the and probably here would have been the place I would have probably closed the trade. are around break-even orders. We did have this which could have held, but yeah, we'll see. But for now, let's just look at the scaling. The scaling still was really good. Like, there was no problem with it. It's just that sometimes this actually happens, and this is the risk with ongoing with scalings. Sometimes they get stopped out, so while the main one still gets hit. So this was kind of our idea. I had a bit of a bigger stop loss. I had like 3R like this. Scaling wasn't bad at all. Really strong confluences. We had fractal high formed into break-even orders. Wait, inverse and gap print. Really textbook. Actually, it was really textbook. Yeah, the scaling was good, but the one should have been there. So optimal way. Boom. Let's see. We gotta go over R. Let me think. I should probably go over it right here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take a small break and I'm gonna be back soon. Let's see. The skating wasn't bad, but the better option would have been. Okay, my bad. 1 second. Cross my mind. Let's try and find some. Bruh. Well, basically, I was going over why was TP1 why was Asian low a bad TP, because it was a strong low to target because of 2 previous outside raids. That's why we ended up reacting of this level, and with this information we could have maybe caught the loser short at around break even. So this is useful information here, definitely, I would say. Definitely useful information. Oops. Like this. So yeah, this should have been TP1 realistically. Boom. And we also had kind of a lot of resistance in the trade overall. And Asia loans didn't really hold a lot of relevance, I feel like, but placed it and the metal, like medium resistance. And we also had, I also pretty much had a 50-minute FVG, if I do remember correctly. I just don't know where it was. Let me see on MetaTrader. I remember we had. Can I make this big? We did have this, I feel like, which means this. Well, we didn't really react. Oh, this, yeah. Now I see it, okay. We also had this FVG, which we ended up reacting off of. Coupled with this 50-minute FVG, a pretty likely area to react of. You see how accurate the body is respected the FVG. This is the true thing it came for and true Asian lows, basically. So Asian lows, true Asian lows, which is here, and this 50-minute FVG wouldn't really sum up a strong low though, realistically. But yeah, this information would have been helpful later on managing the trade. Boom. I see. I knew it, so on from here, just gotta put it all here. Mhm. No, it's okay. Boom. Trade management. In terms of trade management, we didn't really do anything. Then we're gonna talk about the optimal way as well. We didn't really do much, and I think on the first trade it was a good idea not to do much. I don't think, yeah, we would have missed on some profit, but oh yeah, this was trade management. And then when we reach here, we started building bullish momentum, which, yeah. Gonna go AFK a bit again. Yeah, just studying right now. Let's see. Partials, trade management, no partials. They don't take no partial. No stop loss management. Trading it out, hitting final TP. Hi bro. I'm still kinda, I think I'm minus 4% or something like that. We're chilling. Still not great, but I'm not really worried about results anymore, to be honest. Let me show you. Yeah, how's your trading going, bro? How's yours? This is minus 4.5. That's fine. Still in drawdown. I'm not really worried though. Still just doing my thing. Just chilling. Just studying, just getting better, and we'll see what happens along the way. Not really trying to worry about it. So let me keep journaling. This one, the main position ended up hitting take profit. Okay, this ended up hitting like a 2R. I did close a bit early though, so I don't really like that. Should be like full TP, maybe. I would say full TP. Ended up hitting 2R. Closed a bit early because I just woke up and I only looked at MetaTrader. MetaTrader. I closed around here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did like just a bit early, but it's still not a good habit to have. So full TP. I did close a bit early. I thought that the higher time frame low was taken. I bet for not checking. Also bad close, no valid inversion, just comfort and percentage based decision, which is bad. Definitely bad close. Wouldn't have made necessary really a big difference, but just bad habit to have. Flow overall good, no real problems. Did hold it when important. Also let it go at some point through boring parts, and also through news. Didn't look at charts. Probably would have ended up making a bad decision. So the close as well, I want to go over that close. Decision making, if possible, I don't know yet, if possible, make sure you activate flow before trade management decisions or decisions in general. For example, closing the trade wasn't done in flow. I just barely woke up, so that should have been forbidden. If flow not reachable, no decision made. Flow present, decision made. That's kind of how I'm seeing flow right now, to be honest. Psychology was good. Some loser, if I'm not loser, let's say my number one hater try to hate on me, but maintained conviction and just rooted in purpose and identity. Got proof of identity and its unshakability. Did shake at first, but grounded later. Decent, I would say decent. No in between nap, but good overall. So did shake at first, but grounded later. Really good identity, reinforcement opportunity today. So I also wanted to say about the close trade management here. Full TP, and I kind of forgot about no partials. Full TP and optimal. I don't want to go over. Let me do this. No optimal here. Probably would have been like after we reach here. I would say probably like looking at it now, we found a higher low with the respect. Let's see what exactly happened here, because I don't wanna boom, like once we reach that, did we have like we did have this terminate gap getting closed above, so 30-minute gap getting closed above, and then we had like 1 minute price action getting respected. This was my area that I wanted to hold, so I should have maybe, this was our scaling, this was our scaling actually, so it was like this. Let me make the stop loss a bit like less opacity. So the scaling was here and the stop loss was here. Where was the best place to be closed in the trade? We did form this higher low, so we had one confluence. We did have this, which made it reversally, or made it as a chance to reverse. So I don't know how to mark this, but yeah, we did have this, and probably should have been trailed here realistically, and that way I would have been almost like break even, because if we break above that, if we break above the area where we entered the trade shouldn't really be valid, to be honest. So I'm trying to kind of see, because after our entry got that, we did form a pretty good area here. So let me try and put it like this. Kind of the most relevant area was this, so as long as we don't hold this, we should have just trimmed my stop loss, probably trim my stop loss on the scaling was here, so scaling entry here, bro. I hate this shit, bro. Let me delete this shit, bro. Let me delete this shit. So delete these. Okay, now it's better. So we had our position here, and we had a stop loss in buy side liquidity, so we should have been aware of that, and I was aware of that. But when would have been the best close? Well, basically just trimming the stop loss above break even orders, because break even, us getting tapped into break even, had created this nice inversion here, which kind of became the last point. If we close above it, we're likely to come back to break even or to buy side liquidity. But yeah, so kind of here probably optimal, like trim stop loss for scaling here, increased chances of reversal. Well, let me think about one thing as well. Didn't we have, yeah, it's just like too obvious buy side liquidity, to be honest. At this point, if we invalidate that inverse from the around break-even orders, we pretty much reach into stop loss. So decision, this would have been the probably smartest decision, because if we break the inverse here, if we close above, we're gonna very likely gonna reach back into where our initial stop loss was. I think I said this on my stream as well, but I didn't end up acting on it. But it would have definitely been the better choice if we also had the fact that this low was indeed the true Asian lows, not this coupled with, I think this was my decision anyway, so I considered this decision, but I didn't have true Asian lows marked, so I didn't know, like, so it was a low relevance entry for me. Break even still holding chance to hold. If with confluence of true Asian lows, probably would have done this. Definitely best choice. So that's kind of it, to be honest. Don't really, nothing more for trade management, nothing for flow. So kind of like, what did I like about this trade? Solid continuation pattern, and I would say resistance on the lows, which did end up being kind of a thing. What did I do right? Navigated rejected entry well, I would say. Entry well, held through news, held identity, held psychology, I would say. So it's a lot of important. But yeah, what did I do wrong? I would say, what did I do wrong? So first, the scaling risk, I would say. The scaling wasn't bad actually. So risk was bad. The tree was good. The problem, like a bit of, how do I say this, targeting error, I would say, because I didn't target properly. Targeting error, and no trade management. I mean, management on scaling, I would say, because it should have been probably trimmed. Stop loss should have been trimmed here. Not trimmed, trailed, my bad. So I kind of knew this as well, but I didn't act on it. So kind of this. Is there any more? And it closed early, a bit early. Closed out of comfort, mentally, financially. So these are kind of the mistakes. Lack of flow, I would also say it's important here. Other than that, did we really have much mistakes? I wouldn't say. So risk profile, targeting error, is we did target those this instead of this. Then no trade management, should have trimmed the stop loss here. Close out of comfort mentally, and did close out around here out of comfort instead of leaving towards final TP. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's go again. Risk profile, I would say cases where 0505 is more suitable. Start developing a bit more awareness to this scenario. Mostly used when entry gets invalidated, but IDI is still strong. So kind of to risk manage the rejected entry. So usually I feel the 0505 profile, like entering like this, should be done generally when an entry gets rejected, like we did here. 05 and then look for 05 again. So yeah, that's one lesson. Targeting error. I don't even know. Just too many soul side raids. Pretty clear on high resistance to be taken. Just gotta be more aware, I would say. No trade management. No trade management on scaling. Oops, this should have been like header, no? Okay, no trade management on scaling. What did I do? So H3, no trade management on scaling. With the targeting error fix, would have definitely failed stop loss, I would say. So it turns into a medium level relevance entry. Scaling increasingly gets riskier to hold and for stop loss to get ahead because of buy sell liquidity formed into entry. Closed out of comfort. Flow disabled. Just woke up. Don't take decisions never like this because of being unable to focus, unable to flow, unable to take the best decision. Close out of comfort, and yeah, just always enter to make sure you're in flow before making any trade any decisions. Not decisions. And this is kind of it. Pretty long, but I do always enjoy this. So Yeah, let's just make this a bigger one. Where is turn into yeah, I think that's fine. So yeah, it is probably fine. Let's just see how much did we actually journal in this, because I'm curious. If I open all of these, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, bro, like it ended up being way more than I expected. Okay, this ended up being a lot of journal. A lot of journal. Like, look at this. Every single trade, bro. Every single trade. Then people will start saying like I got lucky or some shit, and they won't ever see the hundreds of trade that I journal like this and the work that actually goes into this. They won't see this. They will just see the results and say it's luck. But bruh, like come on. Like this is not new. Like look at this. Like come on, bruh. Hundreds of trades. Let's just try and find the one that we did today, but it has no data. It is GBP USD. I don't know why it gets put so low. It's probably this in it. Yeah, so let's save this as well. Intraday profile. We did have a raid Asia today. I kind of missed the raid Asia day Wednesday. Duration. How much did it take? Boom, boom, boom. Kind of like a lot of time. 6 hours. Been a long time since I have been in a trade like this. I would say this is an inversion of a pivotal price point. Entry time. We did take our entry around 10:30, which is kind of really nice timing. To be honest, not really, 1.8. I think I closed on, and potential was like 3. Yeah, 3. 3 break. I would say win. We did win the trade, but we did end up being break even for the day, so we did risk like 1.5. I would say. How was intuition based? I would say probably green. I wouldn't really say purple on this. So we had 4 hour with we kind of had 1 hour with 1 hour gain. I would say around -0.2, so I would still consider it a break even. For the overall day, gap to gap idea, it was a continuation mistake. So we had one, I remember, close to early. We had risk profile, boom. We had trade management, so we had like didn't close the trade. And what did we have? We had another thing, didn't we? Targeting error. Okay, now I remember. So targeting, okay. Performance, I would say like it's let's think about it. I would still say like the intention would like 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 is a fine performance for this trade. But why does it get filtered like there? Bruh. Like why are you there, Gengi? Where is you there, man? Filter. I think I need a filter to be able to result win, lose, break even. Win, lose, break even. I think this is why it gets sorted out. But yeah, people always say it's luck, bro. It's luck. How did you, like, you just reach because you're lucky, bro? You're not even doing shit. And then there's these fucking journals. Like, bro, it's actually nice, like, seeing how many trades I actually like saved, to be honest. How many trades I went through. I'll be honest, like, it's a lot. A lot, and I'm not mad at that at all, actually. But yeah. Gonna chill a bit, gonna come back, gonna do probably the breakdowns. I do kind of want to finish a bit earlier today. I will probably do the breakdowns and breaking down of what happened on the rest of the pairs, because this is kind of important information, I would say, for my our data. I remember one thing I want to do right now is I did a breakdown on oh my god, I forgot about Tuesday breakdown. I said I'm gonna recover it, so probably will do that in the weekend, though I do want to study CPI, so I would actually probably call this CPI instead, because yeah, it's a bit more helpful rather than Wednesday. I already know it's Wednesday, so probably gonna I did break down one pair from yesterday, which was GU. The GU trade was pretty clean, I ain't gonna lie. This was analysis apparently. Yeah. Um, I did do not PPI. Fuck you, bruh. I did do GU, so GU we're gonna be copied, and we're gonna put it here in mastery. So we're gonna do CPI. We're gonna have a table here. We're actually gonna call it GU for now, and we're just gonna paste everything here. And yeah, this was actually pretty clean, and there was a potential entry up top here as well. I don't know why I didn't mark it, but it's fine. Yeah, just really nice here. This was a really nice setup. I need to be deleting this shit right here, delete. And yeah, I'm gonna get into the breakdowns. I do need to do the CPI. Those I don't want to skip those, because it's a very important data on CPI, but I don't know if I can do it today, to be honest. I'll probably do it in the weekend, so we're gonna see. Well, now I shouldn't have skipped it, but it is what it is. What can you do? Probably gonna I don't want to skip it, so yeah, definitely gonna keep in mind to do it in the weekend. I don't want to be doing it any other day. So what is this? Like, I do this, then I go back, and apparently it's this, but about being this serious and this, like, yeah, this serious with trading is that I don't have energy anymore. I don't have energy to work out, and that's one thing that I don't really like. Maybe I'm gonna get used to with time, but right now, bro, like zero energy to be working out, and it's already like 10 p.m. Like journals like this do take time indeed, but and it's also tiring, and also being present for so long is tiring. So it's a lot of work that goes in, especially if you want to reach a point where you can trade intuitionally with intuition consistently. So it is a lot of work, I ain't gonna lie, and it does make you tired, and I do not have energy to work out anymore, but I feel like maybe with time I will. Okay, so we basically ended up reacting massively here on DXY. Oh shit, god damn, DXY, what is this? Yeah, this is the clear behavior of CPA's volatility in today PPI. We just reacted basically of the premium prices, new week opening gap plus big ass gap, and wicked hard lower, and nothing much else to be saying here, I would say. Yeah, so basically what we did draw towards filling that gap, but we did manipulate towards this hourly. This is interesting. Wait, does this look the same way on euro? Wait, oh my god, bruh. On Geo it's kind of like, bro, sheesh. This is more, yeah, definitely CPI. But I did have this buy side liquidity, and I did say this. I did say these objectives are gonna be liquidity for CPI, but we got them in PPI, to be honest. Interesting, to say the very least. So we just ended up massively wicking lower towards that hourly gap, and we ended up just massively working lower towards that hourly gap, drawing towards filling CPI's gap, which I expected, but not as huge as of a reaction lower. Basically, we did have a massive reaction. This was interesting, I would say the least, behavior here. So at least interesting. So on CPI we had that red candle that kinda cleared the VG, then we pull back deeper and only reverse on silver bullet timing. Actually New York lunchtime, weird enough, we ended up reversing in New York lunchtime, which is weird, I would say, the very least. This was open. This was basically CPI PPI open, I mean. Then we end up holding this gap higher, and then we massively reverse. So I'm kind of looking at how PPI open really behaved here. We just had like PPI open, meaning the first hour and a half. Usually I feel like I noticed this about PPI as well. Oops, what am I doing, bro? What is it doing, bro? Broski? What is it doing, man? Okay, so I was looking kinda so PPI open, interesting behavior. We had a gap lower, completely ignored, nor printed the bullish one and held higher, and we did hold for an hour, which is what I would call news Judah swing. This is interesting in terms of PPI, because we did have that timing. We didn't massively displace within open like CPI usually, so it did take around an hour to form the fake move, and then volatility got injected, I would say. Interesting how we behave, like in terms of timing, I would say. So euro, let's see, what did euro do? We did end up wicking this shit that I say is my draw, and then coming back into the buy side that I did say. Why did I say like that? God damn, why so zesty, bruh? I did say that these highs are gonna be target for CPI. So yeah, basically just reacted hard off my hard time frame draw, then came and wicked my targets for CPI in premium prices. Interesting. So we did end up hunting that liquidity, so I was kind of spot on that idea. Hourly, we didn't really do much. We did play this bearish range into sell side and then reversed. In terms like it's not such bad price action in terms of like looking at it this way. So we had plain trend lower and classic new reversal. Didn't really expect it, to be honest. We kind of hold this gap here. Yeah, it was weird on open, and this is again open here. Rejected buyers, same idea as the XY. I'm not gonna sit here and necessarily write everything, so it's kind of exactly the same as the XY. We did had that candle higher, then we do a lower, and boom boom FVG reach lower, so it's kind of the same. Jew we already did on backtesting. Here AU we reacted off sell side, basically kind of the same idea. This was a strong low, so we end up holding it. Yeah, so G was done as well. AU I'm really tired, to be honest, but gotta keep going. AUDUSD the same, except we reacted off liquidity not zone, more of like recent liquidity and strong low, then just drew to fill the big gap from CPI and tap that order block. Pretty much it. In terms of like price action here, we didn't like, it's the classic jitter swing on liquidity. It's like really nice behavior to liquidity here. Also previous day low open, previous daily low, really nice stack of liquidity with previous hard time frame sell side, like this basically. So I would probably do like this, then we dwell into it and reverse. Really clean liquidity based idea, I would say. Open didn't really do much. We dwell into liquidity, and from liquidity we might have had a potential setup here. So yeah, it did have a deeper, I feel like, yeah, deeper, way deeper pullback compared to the other pairs, but yeah, this kind of was the potential of trading here. So yeah, DAX didn't really do much. I feel like, oh wait, this is clean, bro. Why do we get volatility so late? This is very clean here. Inverse, oh my god, this is clean as fuck, bro. Boy, this is clean as fuck, boy. This is actually really clean. Oh my god, this is pretty clean, I would say. Again, sell side stack into inversion. We draw later, fill the inversion, then we end up buying hard again. We did have like that 4-hour inversion, but yeah, we had a sell side like 4 hour with 1 hour inversion, so our edge was really strong. Even yeah, it was inside of this, but it did get filled, it did get mitigated, so the PI lost relevance. Then we respect. Oh yeah, this was clean as fuck, boy. This was clean as fuck, boy. Clean as fuck, to be honest. So we had a sunset liquidity rate plus 4-hour FVG area, inverse trigger, Nick what did I say? No follow up, but really clean though. We were trading against the 4-hour bearish FVG, but it got mitigated and cleared. Kind of like objective navigation, but with POS. Boom though, Gengi. It was actually pretty clean. I ain't gonna lie, this delivery, like, this is why maybe for news we should be drawn a bit more towards towards indices, towards at least I would say, yeah. And we did have this really strong, like bullish price action of London, like straight off of London. We sell side sweep into 4 hour. The inversion wasn't complete, but the opportunity was there. That's what we gotta note here in London. So we gotta be noting that, even though we don't trade, it's helpful. It's helpful to form our eyes. You get what I mean? So, but this entry here in like lunchtime, this actually was really fucking clean. I ain't gonna lie, this was really clean. This was the first entry, really clean. And we also had potential to be taken the second move. What are we looking to target? New York highs, really simple. Boom. New York highs, really clean entry here. Really clean trade overall. Really, really, really clean. So this trade will definitely be saved to the arsenal. This is very clean. I do really like this. And then scaling on here really nicely. We had the potential scaling with a stop loss below the inversion, but timing was pretty fucked. Timing was like end of lunchtime. It was a PM session setup overall. PM session setup overall. But yeah, this kind of, but it was clean, I would say. PM session setup, we did kind of mitigate that 4 hour, and now we're drawn towards this inversion, really clean on PM, almost a PM open, I would say. Then scaling, and we're just holding towards the high. So this was a very, very clean trade, very clean price action. And I think kind of the same happened on we kind of just dwelled within this. We just kinda dwelled within this 4 hour FVG here. Ended up doing damage with the wicks below these sell side, and hourly we had ended up having kind of the same profile as DAX, except we mitigate, we manipulate more deeply. Same profile lineos. I feel like this setup would have been a bit more fun, but it's still too risky. So London, kind of the same idea, ended up holding as kind of the same as DAX, and then New York kind of the same, to be honest, except it was a bit more bearish, and I wouldn't have necessarily taken this. It doesn't look as clean as DAX. DAX did have that bearish VG, but yeah, definitely not as clean. So yeah, yes sir skis, and we did end up reacting off the 4 hour here, the 4 hour inversion and the social liquidity. So we did end up reacting pretty nicely on gold as well. So we reacted hard off 4 hour inverse and recent sell side that was evidently built for this sweep with that no mitigation, really close to EVG, and we reached back above the range high. So we play the ranges idea in like one day. We play from discount EVG towards range high. That's kind of crazy, because we actually we play so much, that we print so much today. Again, like kind of clean, to be honest, I ain't gonna lie. It's clean as well. Gold was pretty clean, really clean. I do it, and we did have that short of the 1 hour FVG. Was bearish for London, ended up being right here off that order block, but then we continue higher. So boom, 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 just massive Enos. We did have kind of like a failed swing, I would say, and we did hold this FVG here for London, but we did have also the hourly, I feel like, yeah, or the 50 minute. Maybe one opportunity could have been this of the failed swing. One opportunity here of the failed swing. And let's see on the highs here if we end up. We don't really end up giving like a necessarily good entry. We just end up really like a really weird entry. And that's pretty much it. So can I copy these? I want to copy these and put it right in here in mastery. CPI, we gotta do medium impact. Is PPI also, it's high impact, so we gotta do what we gotta do, man. And that was it for this stream, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired. Get me out. Yeah, we've been doing a decent amount of trading today. Again, W day. No matter what the result is, still a W day for me. And I really appreciate you guys for being here. And yeah, W day, a bit of smaller mistakes, but that's fine. It's something that could be managed with time. But yeah, I'm just gonna thank you all for being here. Decent day today, not bad, and we're gonna see what we have tomorrow. So thank you for being here.